The following program contains violence, disturbing imagery, nudity, and, oh my god, why are you even watching this? Just run away. This shit is going to give you nightmares.
Recorded live at the Jared Show Studios in Tampa, Florida. It's another episode of the Jared Show. And now, here's your host, Jared Suarez.
That's right. Back again for another episode of the Jared Show. It's the end of the week show, which is usually my favorite episode of the podcast, is the end of the week. So that means I don't have to do a podcast for the weekend. Get a little break. A little rest and relaxation. Some R&R, as they say in the military. Not that I would know, but I have seen my fair share of military dramas. Tonight on the show, frisky. Not in that way. Calm down. Calm down, you horny old ladies. Not getting frisky that way. Getting frisky in another way. But first, before I start the show, let me just emphasize. Next week, next Monday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I mean, this Monday coming up, the next Monday. Jared Show Live. It's coming. Every night you're going to have a opportunity to listen to me give my take on different things and hear stories about me. It's the Jared Show, for God's sakes. Why don't you talk about Jared, right? So that's what I'm going to do. That's the plan. You be there and be square, because I like square people. Well, not the round or the elongated type. Squares. That's what I want. So tonight, just as I was on my way over to the studio, I walked outside of my house, and as I always do when it's nighttime, I immediately looked up into the sky. I love looking at the sky and the stars, and I think space is so cool, so interesting, how there's so much stuff out there. And, you know, once you kind of can understand how the mechanics of the planet work, you can kind of understand the sky a little bit more, which is really awesome. And tonight, for the first time in my entire life, I saw a shooting star. That's right. A shooting star went all the way across the sky, and I saw it. It was so fast. I had never seen anything move across the sky that fast in my life. And it was pretty cool. And I think, isn't that good luck? Doesn't that mean, like, good things are coming? Hopefully. Hopefully it's a sign that this podcast is a step in the right direction for me, which I hope so. I listened to a podcast that was very interesting a couple of days ago. I think it was maybe yesterday, actually. It was Dan Carlin of Hardcore History on with Joe Rogan. And it was very enlightening because they were doing a lot of talking about podcast. And it made me think about the podcast that I had a long time ago, where I would just it was a very guest centered show, almost just like the Joe Rogan Experience is. How every episode was a guest, and it was an hour long, and it was all about the guest. I didn't write things down. I would never write down a question, and I'd just go into it as a regular old interview, but it was more like a conversation. There's a couple of those episodes out there still on the internet, and I plan on releasing a couple of the really old ones that I did that are definitely not up on the internet anymore because I can't find them. One of them I did with Chris Fisher, also known as Fisher from Fisher and the Boy, or Fisher in the Afternoon. He was a 97X DJ for a long time, and wound up leaving that job and then came back to radio on 102.5. These are all stations in Tampa, FM radio stations in Tampa. But Fisher was a really awesome dude, and I got to sit down and do a podcast with him, and hopefully we'll be listening to that soon. But I don't know where I was going with that. The podcast that I used to do, whatever. I'm still fucking heated. I'm still really angry, actually. Tonight I saw something that I have never seen in my life besides a shooting star. I didn't think that this could ever happen, would really happen in real life. I mean, I've heard stories about it, but I never thought that I would witness with my own two eyes something so blatant. Like it was ridiculous. Let me set the story for you. Okay, the girlfriend and I went out to dinner with a good friend of ours, and we went to, I'm not going to name the restaurant. Well, let's just call it Sweet Potatoes. Okay, we went to Sweet Potatoes, and we got some salad, and, got our breads, paid for our meal, and walked into the dining room, and lo and behold, there are 2 dogs with service vests on. They both have 2 different service vests on. They're not the same service vest, and on first glance, they don't look legit. We go sit down, have our food, and immediately I realize that there's 2 dogs, a black dog and a golden lab, and both very, very old dogs. And I notice that the golden lab is taking up at least the entire walkway that where people would be walking. This dog is completely in the walkway, standing up, waiting for his owner to give him some treats. And right there, I immediately started getting pissed. Because I know that a service dog, takes extensive training to become a service dog. They have to. They can't look at another person. They cannot go after food. They're taught to not do the things that dogs do, just out of regular instinct. The dog sees the food and wants the food, but a service dog, a trained service dog, will never, ever beg for food, and it will never stand in the walkway while its owner is eating. It will, I don't know if you've ever seen this, but a real service dog will come up and lay across its owner's feet while they sit down and they eat their dinner. This dog was standing in the fucking walkway. And then it just kept snowballing. It just kept getting fucking worse and worse. The dog started, the lady started feeding the dog little shit from the plate. And sweet potatoes is a buffet. So I'm sitting there, okay, how much did they fucking spend? How much did they pay for this dog to be able to eat at the buffet? Oh, but come on, it's just a couple of things. Bullshit. That's why there's a fucking kid's price, and the kid has to pay that the parents have to pay that price for the kid, because even though that kid's not going to eat very much food, he's still eating in the fucking food in the restaurant. And so you have to fucking pay for that. But I guarantee you they did not pay for these 2 fucking dogs who are munching down. Every time I saw them, they were getting little treats. One time, the man, it was a younger lady, well, a younger, older lady. She wasn't too old. She wasn't blue-haired. But it was her and what looked like her father, who was a gray-haired man with a suit jacket on. And the man stood up, and his butter knife fell to the ground. And I know service dogs will not touch anything on the. They're there to do a job. That they're not there to be like, oh, fork, awesome, let me lap that up. This dog fucking went right over to the knife and just started licking at the knife. And then the owner was like, oh, I dropped that. Let me get that. So he picks it up. The dog continues to lick the fucking floor. It's an old dog. It's an old lab. And my girlfriend jokes, oh, maybe it's a retired service dog. No. There's no retired service dog. If the dog's retired, he's not fucking working. He shouldn't be in the restaurant. This fucking old dog dander fucking floating out in the air and shit like that. What if people are allergic? What if somebody brings their kid in and that kid is deathly afraid of dogs? What if that kid just was attacked by a pit bull two years ago and it's still traumatized by the sight of a dog, and it has to come in and see your fucking giant old dog standing in the middle of the fucking thing? I was irate. I had to pass the fucking dog, walk past the dog, and its tail slapping me in the fucking leg. It was enraging. It was like, I have never seen somebody who's so fucking inconsiderate to bring their dog to a fucking buffet. I don't care if this dog is an emotional support dog, as you clarify it is. That's bullshit. You're bringing your fucking dog to the restaurant, and you can get him inside the restaurant because he has the little service fucking vest, which I know your fucking ass bought on eBay, fucking $24.99 from China, because guess what? It didn't say, trained service dog, please do not touch, or anything like that. No, this was a fucking blue harness with a white stripe in the middle of it, and it's in a seal, like a certificate seal on it with the medical, the posts with the wings and the serpents that wrap around it, the medical symbol. It was right in the middle of the seal, and then around it said, "I'm a service dog." It said, "I'm a service dog." What? That's fucking eBay bullshit 100%. And it fucking infuriated me. The entire fucking meal. We sat down. These fucking people were there already. We left. Those people were still fucking there. Like, if they would have got up and left, then I wouldn't have been so mad. Because I was like, yeah, that's fucked up. They brought their fucking dogs in here. The fake-ass service dogs in here. And, then I would have been a little bit happier, but I wouldn't have been enraged. And by the time I got out of that fucking restaurant, man, I really do love sweet potatoes, but their management made a fucking bad call on that one. Bad call. As soon as I saw that, if I was that manager and I saw that dog acting up the way it wasn't acting up. It was acting like a dog, but not a trained service dog. And I would have to go up to them before they fucking started eating, and I'm going to say, "Ma'am, I have to offer you guys a refund. We cannot have dogs that are not trained service dogs in our restaurant." Like who the fuck does that? Like, I mean, I've seen people with dogs at Disney World, okay? And I can understand that. You're in a crowded place, you have to stand in lines. And if you have an anxiety disorder or a panic disorder or something like that, and a dog can help you stay normal, a small little companion dog or emotional support dog, good, that's fine. You're out in a place like Disney World where it's not going to affect me so much. But this is the sweet potatoes down the fucking street, okay? Go somewhere that has an outside fucking seating area where you can bring your dog, and that kind of shit's acceptable. Don't fucking try to dupe the public into saying, "Oh, it's a service dog." Bitch, that's not a service dog. It's a service dog because you say it's a service dog? Fuck you. Damn, that shit got me mad. So fucking mad. Still mad. Like, even when I'm talking about it, I'm like, what the... I mean, this was at least almost 45 minutes ago now, to an hour ago we left out of there. It was infuriating. And I don't know. It wasn't my first experience with dogs today. I have a dog. I have a little black Pomeranian. But for some reason today, I got the hair up my ass that I was going to go down to the Humane Society and adopt a dog because I wanted to. And Andy and I have been talking about getting another dog because our dog is so old. He's probably not going to be around, for another 10 years or something. Maybe we might get a good 5 out of him. But I would like another dog around so it could maybe, interact with Hachi, and that's my dog's name, Hachi. I realize I'm just throwing these names out there like it ain't no problem. I already said my girlfriend's name already, and I didn't want to do that on the podcast, but there it is. It's out there. Fucking yeah. So anyways, I went to the Humane Society, and I went to the one here in Tampa, and my girlfriend was begging me, not begging me, ordering me, demanding that I do not go down there, do not bring a dog home, and I was dead set on it, because we had talked about getting a dog before, another dog, Because the dog we have now is little, and he's small. He's a Pomeranian, and he's fun to hold and cuddle with and stuff. But it's not like a big dog that you could wrestle around with, and they come lay on your lap, they get all over you, and it's fun. I like bigger dogs. I'm not saying like a Saint Bernard or a what are those, Mastiff. I'm not massive Mastiff. I'm not into getting a dog that big right now. We don't even have a yard at our house, and we have like a big porch area, patio area that's pretty big. It could be turned into a yard maybe one day, but it's still not enough for a big dog. A big dog needs to be able to run up and down some property, and I wouldn't. It's better than sitting in a cage at the Humane Society. It would have a better life here than sitting there. But I went with a smaller dog. I went into kennel room number 2, which was for medium-sized dogs and large puppies, and went in there, found a medium-sized dog. He was a 1.5-year-old Basset Hound Labrador mix. And his name was Marlowe, and hence I said was, so you already know the ending of this story. He's a cute little dog. He has short legs, very short dog, fat, playful, fun, very nice, very sweet through the cage, very, very loving. Just wanted to hang out and just play and stuff. And I said, okay, this is the dog that I'm gonna pick. I'm gonna take this dog home. So I grabbed his little card and walked it up to the desk, and they had me fill out some paperwork. And I filled out the paperwork, and that allowed me to have some playtime with the dog before I took him home. And a volunteer came and found me while I was still checking out, just hanging there with Marlowe, petting him, and super sweet dog. I could totally see this dog as being my dog. And we go outside. The volunteer is with me. She has a rope leash with a choker. It's just like a little ring at the end of a rope where it will choke the dog if he pulls too hard on it. And we start to head out to go to the play areas. I think they call them playrooms, but they're just little gated in areas with some rocks and grass and a little like tub pool thing, some water for the dogs. So we get in there. The whole time we're going from the kennel to the playroom, this dog is pulling like he's trying to just get away, and he's got so much energy. He's yanking hard on this leash, choking himself. So finally we get him to the playroom, unleash him, and holy shit, this fucking dog takes off. Just running back and forth and back and forth and back and forth in this play area, kicking up rocks with its back legs, and almost hit me in the face with one of them. And just nonstop, he would just run, go over to the water bowl, lay down real quick, stick his face in the water, and just try to drink up a little bit. And then he'd get his energy back up, and he'd run, go run. And it was at that instance I was like, no. I don't have the energy for this kind of dog. Our dog now is an old man. We have 2 cats as well. And I could just see this Basset Hound going ape shit on the dog and the cat and just trying to play with them and pounce on them and pissing all of our animals off, which would not be cool. And I decided to go against him. He was the perfect size dog. He was very nice. But the problem with him is he just had way too much energy. And it's probably because he was, kept up in that pen. But that was the deciding factor for me, and I can't do that to my other animals. I can't put poor Hachi into that kind of situation. My dog's name is Hachi. That's the third time I've said it now on this podcast. I don't think I've said his name before on the podcast. But Hachi's a cool dog. The way we found him was it was a rainy day in the summer. And it wasn't just an average rainy day. It was a tropical storm was moving through the area. And living in Florida, tropical storms ain't shit. It's really, I mean, I've seen thunderstorms that run through, your average, summer thunderstorm that'll roll through. That'd be worse than a tropical storm was. So, like always, I would just be going to work anyways. It doesn't matter. It's a tropical storm. It's not, I believe I was doing tile at the time, setting tile. And I go outside to go to my car, and I get in my car, and I see this little black fur ball in the next yard over. And I go, oh, that's weird. I've never seen that dog before. And I go, hey, puppy. And he ran all the way over to me. He came over, jumped in the car, and he was like, hey, what's going on? I was like, hey, you're so nice. With your breath really stinks. But you don't have any leash on. There's no collar. What's going on there? So I took him inside. I was like, hey, this dog looks like real shit. I mean, his fur's all matted. He's got bad teeth, and he doesn't have a collar. He's not somebody. He's just a stray dog. I said, you want to take care of him? See what's going on? Maybe if he's a shitty dog, we'll take him somewhere or to a shelter or something like that. But check him out, because we were talking about getting a dog at that time, and she had a Pomeranian when she lived with her mom and dad when we first met. She had got a baby Pomeranian, and her parents kind of took that over. They fell in love with that dog, and she's still around. The Pomeranian, she's just, most Pomeranians are really neurotic. Like they're yappy, and like they don't like certain words or sounds, and they have like weird tics and stuff like that. I mean, I've seen many Pomeranians that have weird stuff like that. My dog Hachi, none of those. He does have some sort of breathing issue. Maybe it might be a seizure, and because I know they're also prone to seizures, but he doesn't do any of that weird crazy shit. I mean, if you say the word potty or hungry, he loses his shit because he knows what that is. And I don't know, just he's a cool dog. His name's Hachi after the fucking movie. I say fucking movie because my girlfriend named him that, and the movie is Richard Gere plays a teacher and finds a dog at a train station, and the dog winds up following him home, and they just, they take care of him, and he becomes their dog. And spoilers, the end of the movie ends when Hachi follows Richard Gere to the train station and waits for him, what he does is he goes to the train station, drops him off, and then when his master gets on the train, the dog walks home. Okay? And then he'll come back at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, wait for his master at the train, and then go home. So, of course, you know what fucking happens. The guy goes off on the train and goes to work and has a heart attack and dies. The dog doesn't understand any of this shit, so he just goes to the train station and waits. And waits, and waits, and waits, and waits, and never leaves the train station. Because he wanted to be there in case his owner came back. And that dog lived there for 7 years at the train station until the end of the dog's life. There was a couple of street vendors that took care of him until, and gave him food. And that dog just patiently waited there for his master for the rest of his life. And the reason why I said fucking name is because I was like, what the fuck? You want me to die at work so this dog can fucking? Are you trying to make me Richard Gere in this instance? What the fuck? Why you want a Hachi? Because you want me to go fucking off to work and die, bitch? Not honestly. I was just, messing around with her. But yeah. So I guess that's enough about dogs. I guess you know what? I guess that's just enough of the show this week. I really ran that shit out, didn't I? Man, those fucking fake-ass dogs really pissed me off, though. I could go for another fucking half hour on those fuckers, man. That really fucking grinds my gears. But, yeah, so that's it for this episode of The Jared Show. Thanks for listening to me rant about dogs. This is the dog episode, a very dog-centric episode. Monday. Join me Monday as The Jared Show goes live, 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And, go over to The Jared Show, and you'll be able to listen to it live. If you usually listen to this show on Facebook, I don't think there is going to be a link per se. I might be able to get that in while I'm playing the song in the beginning. We'll figure out how this works, but make sure you go to The Jared Show. Follow me on Twitter at Jared Show. That's two places that you will definitely get notified when the show gets live. Links provided, all the good stuff. And you just tune in. It's going to be a blast. I've got a couple of things planned, but as always on The Jared Show, that shit never fucking works out, so it'll just probably be me talking. So, join me Monday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you very much for listening to this episode. Have a good night.